Hello there, friends. It's Cherie again. I was typing out my newsletter this morning and it seemed very verbose, very wordy, and I wasn't too sure where I was heading, so I thought, right, I'll just get to it. So sometimes doing that in person is a little bit easier for me. I hope you're well. It's the 20th of December as I record this, which feels a little ridiculous. I don't know about you, but it doesn't really feel like Christmas, doesn't? Yeah, and I guess that's just because those usual sort of markers of time just seem to have disappeared or dissolved or something's happened. Yeah, it's definitely, like, the weather is definitely playing a part for me. It's not hot at all. Yeah, and just a few things. I think I've talked to this with a few people around here in Forbes, and we sort of lost November. It just sort of vanished. So we spent most of November either waiting for a flood or experiencing a flood or the aftermath of it. So it's just like that month sort of didn't happen, which is a bit of a weird thing to say. I'm not really fussed either way about that. It's just, that's how I feel. So it feels like, it's funny. Anyway, the point of this little video is to say hello, obviously, and to also let you know just about two things. The first one's a journal from the Resilience Project, and the second one is a walk that's happening this Friday. I'm not walking, between Forbes and Eugowra. So that's just what I want to tell you about. If you're interested, the Resilience Project, tricky for me, back to front. The Resilience Project is responsible for the Imperfects podcast that I just love, and they put out an email on their newsletter like about a month ago saying they've got these 21-day journals, and I thought to myself, oh wow, this is probably November, so actually I know when it was in between the first and the second flood here in Forbes. So I wrote to the lady, Dawn, and I said, maybe these journals would be great for people here in this community. So I was like, there's flooding. And anyway, she got back to me after the second flood and said, if you have the means or the ability to put some of these 21-day journals out in the community, that'd be great. Is it still relevant? And by then I was like, yeah, it's relevant. The experience that happened in Eugowra had occurred. The second and much bigger flood had happened in Forbes. And I knew then that even though people might not be in the right headspace immediately after these natural disasters, eventually maybe there'd be time and space to see if these journals would be helpful for lots of reasons. And so anyway, I wrote back to Dawn and I said, I'm good to go. Lots of people here, would lap this up. So here they are. They've arrived. I've got about 30. They're free, and I'm not going to see everybody, all of you, before Christmas or before New Year or anytime soon. Actually, I don't really care when this happens, but I'd like to send out these journals to you. I've got them now. I've started mine. I'm up to day 4 yesterday. So there's a little bit of a start. The whole premise of this journal is that if we are able to express or recognize or be aware of gratitude and empathy and mindfulness, then it's going to help our well-being, I guess, our mental health, our physical health, our relationships, So there's a little, it's called GEM, everyone loves a shorthand. A bit more about each of them. And then when you get up to here, you get up to day 1, there's a prompt. There's 2 prompts on day 1. And as it says there, you've got to practice, so that's the idea of practicing gratitude, empathy, and mindfulness over the next 21 days. So day 1, for example, were what are 3 things that went well for you today? And also, what are you most looking forward to tomorrow? So that's a fairly sort of, I've done, and heard of these sorts of prompts before. This is a nice one though on day 2. Who's someone that has had a positive impact on your life? So you get to write them a note below to thank them for all that they've done. And once you finish, take a photo and message it to them. So I did. I sent it to my mum. I wrote to my mum, and I am not seeing her this week, sadly. So I took a photo of it and I texted it to mum, and she received it, and it was just a beautiful little connection for us. Day 3 is writing a reverse bucket list. So looking at what you've achieved or done or experienced in your life. And I was tempted to go down the whole, oh, I've been fantastic at this. And then I was like, hang on a minute. I'm really proud of the little things, in my life. So I had a great old time writing in the journal on day 3. And day 4, another expression of gratitude. So the best thing that happened today. And then what are you looking forward to tomorrow? So I love that. And and so we go on. There's 21 days of these little prompts. I'm just picking this up, sometime before bed, and even having a yarn to Lenny about it, and just sort of saying, oh, what'll I write for this? Or what would you write for this? And that's felt really, really nice. So I would love to, I don't need 30 of them. I'd love to post these out to you. So I'll put a little something. Maybe you can email me with your address. That's all I need. And I'll pop them in the post, in the next little while. And this is one of those things you don't have to start in January. We're not going down that, new year, new me. We just pick this up whenever we want. And see how it feels. And I'd love to, see how that feels for you. The other thing is there's a walk on this Friday, the 23rd of December. And I'd love to give it a plug. It's being organised by my brother-in-law, Chris Baker, and he had this wacky idea while he was sitting in the truck, too much time on his hands, clearly. And he is, with lots of little helpers, organising for 75 people to walk from Forbes to Eugowra to raise money for the Eugowra community. And the spots for walking are full. So you won't be able to walk if you're interested in that. I was slightly interested, and then I went for a practice walk and my body was not up for it. So I've decided to graciously hand my spot to somebody else. But the fundraising's like taking off, and if you're around in the Central West and you wanted to be a part of this, I'm getting a bit goosebumpy just thinking about it, because I just love when people come together. There's going to be, they're going to leave Forbes at 5:30 on Friday morning, and they've got this arrival time, which is a bit, probably subject to change, but in Eugowra in the afternoon, about 3, 4, 5 o'clock. And from there, the money that's been raised is going to be distributed to Eugowra residents. There's going to be, just a bit of a get-together, family and friends. So you could go to Eugowra that afternoon. You could see them off on Friday morning, 5:30, if you're up with the birds. But yeah, there's this huge sort of cross-section of people that are walking, crawling, stumbling. The thing about it is, and this is the bit that freaked me out, was that I wasn't fit enough. My body wasn't ready. But I guess that's the whole idea behind this. We haven't had, 6 months to prepare or anything like that. It's just this very gut feeling, feels good. Yeah, so I'm all for it. I'll be cheering from the sidelines. Yeah, but if you wanted to check out more of that, I'll put the link below this video as well. It's called Mandadgery Mad Miles. So Mandadgery is the creek that all the water flooded down on that morning for the Eugowra people. So yeah, it's pretty symbolic. I think it's, being done with lots of local input. So it's working with the community, like in times like this when people aren't sure how to help, it's really important to have the local knowledge. So this looks and sounds and feels so great. So yeah, if you've got some spare money, maybe you can put that towards the fundraiser, but yeah, totally up to you. But just have everyone in your hearts on Friday as they take their walk and their steps as a beautiful little community event. Yeah, it's really nice. It's feeling beautiful. So that's all I really wanted to say. Have an awesome holiday break, Christmas if you celebrate it. If you don't, have a beautiful time with your people or by yourself if that's preferable. I get it all. I've had all of those experiences over the years where I haven't wanted to have time with people, or I've wanted to be with people. So you do you. And I'll probably see you next week. Okay, bye.